Good evening, Mr. Peter Magela. You're welcome to WS Prime News Live. And
Good evening.
Yes, straight to our point of focus here. A short while ago, the much contested oil bill became law. The question is, how much power do you think the line minister, that is the Minister of Energy, now holds over what transpires in the oil and gas industry?
The minister has been given powers to negotiate oil contracts, to license oil contracts. Of course, the power to license goes with the power to cancel those licenses, the power to approve field development plans, the power to approve data management systems. Basically, those are the most contested things. The other powers, of course, include submitting legislations to Parliament, which is obvious. It's always a role of the minister.
The bill establishes the Petroleum Authority. How would you describe the relationship between the authority and the minister?
I think the authority is subordinate to the minister, and so we are likely to see the minister, whatever the minister orders the authority to do, the authority is bound to do it. That is the bit of unfortunate. Because why it's unfortunate is because the authority is expected to be comprised of technical people. The minister is not a technical person, he does the political supervision. So the minister should ordinarily not have that much powers over the authority.
The government side has always been saying that in the clause they inserted provisions for consultations between the minister and the authority. How binding do you think those provisions are on the minister to take the advice or the information from the authority?
Yeah, by law, whether the minister will consult the authority or not is not clear, because one is the law uses consultation, and consultation can be anything. It can be calling you and I say, I'm going to do this. It is not strict to make sure that the minister must consider the recommendations from the technical authority. Yeah, and that is rather unfortunate.
There were concerns of transparency and accountability as per the legal establishment that has now been stamped into law. How would you comment on that?
The issue of transparency comes in when you give the minister powers to negotiate contracts and to license and do all that he's supposed to be doing under Clause 9. In effect, the minister is not being checked. The technical people are not checking the minister, and it might also be difficult for Parliament to hold the minister accountable.
The Constitution of Uganda gives Parliament the oversight role. Now that this bill has become law, how much do you think Parliament will play as a legislature in controlling the oil and gas industry?
See, it's an independent body of government, and then if you say resolution of Parliament do not bind the executive, it's like saying if Parliament made a law, it's up to the executive to enforce it or not. And that is rather an absurd interpretation of systems. To me, I think Parliament should, once Parliament makes an order or a resolution, the executive has no choice but to follow it or to go back to Parliament and move for its amendment.